After 21 years of marriage, one of Hollywood's more low-profile but deeply admired couples, Party of Five actor Scott Wolf and his wife Kelley Wolf, have announced they're ending their marriage. While they weren't the kind of couple constantly plastered across tabloid covers, Scott and Kelley quietly built a family, a life, and a love that many believed would last forever. But as we're learning, even the strongest bonds sometimes come to an end. Kelley Wolf made the first move to publicly share the news on June 10th with a heartfelt message posted to Instagram. She began by saying, "It is with a heavy heart that Scott and I are moving forward with the dissolution of our marriage." Those words alone hit hard, but what followed painted the picture of a woman who had spent years navigating quiet heartbreak behind the scenes. She described it as a long, quiet journey, and made it clear that this decision was not impulsive or dramatic, but thoughtful, deliberate, and rooted in her role as a mother. Kelley and Scott have 3 children together: Jackson, 16, Miller, 12, and Lucy, 11. And Kelley made it known that her primary focus remains the emotional well-being of those 3 children. She spoke with grace, refusing to go into messy details, choosing instead to focus on the peace she now feels. "I feel peace, knowing that I've done everything I can to walk this path with integrity and compassion," she wrote. In a world where public breakups often become spectacles, her restraint was admirable. Still, despite the end of their marriage, Kelley didn't shy away from recognizing what Scott meant to her and what he continues to mean to their children. She called him one of the best fathers I've ever known and one of the best partners a woman could have the privilege of sharing life with. That kind of statement doesn't come from bitterness. It comes from love, gratitude, and maybe a little sadness too. It's not often you hear a breakup announcement that reads like a love letter, but this one did. In a quiet, but equally respectful statement, Scott later shared his thoughts. He confirmed that the decision to end their marriage was the most difficult of his life, and, like Kelley, emphasized that their children remain his top priority. It was a subtle but unified front, a reminder that even though the marriage is over, their partnership as parents remains. But this story goes deeper, because a year ago, during their 20th anniversary, Kelley posted a powerful and emotionally raw reflection about nearly leaving the marriage. She wrote that she had once told Scott, "I love you. I love you more than I've ever loved anybody. I almost loved you enough to stop loving myself." That sentence is a dagger. It speaks to a woman who had lost herself in her relationship, who realized that even the deepest love couldn't come at the cost of her identity. She made a promise to herself not to leave that woman behind again. That post revealed a side of their relationship the public rarely saw. A side that included painful moments, deep emotional work, and hard conversations. Kelley shared that Scott didn't beg or plead. He listened. He told her he believed her. He said he could feel her readiness to walk away, and he chose to step up, to do the work, and to meet her where she was. They didn't run from the hard stuff. They went into what she called the cave, together. And for a while, it worked. They emerged from that cave more connected, more bonded, and more aware of the promise they were making to each other. But even after all that, even after doing the work, some love stories don't last forever. And that's okay. Sometimes the most beautiful chapters still lead to a necessary ending. Scott and Kelley's love story began in 2002. They met, fell in love quickly, and were married by 2004. For the past 2 decades, they built a family and a home away from the flashing lights of Hollywood. Scott, who rose to fame in the 90s with his role as Bailey Salinger on Party of Five, always seemed to maintain a level-headed presence in the industry. He went on to act in a range of roles in shows like Everwood, The Night Shift, and most recently, Nancy Drew and Doc. Kelley, on the other hand, first came into the spotlight on The Real World, New Orleans. But she evolved beyond reality TV, establishing herself as an author, speaker, and life coach. She's spoken candidly about her journey with self-worth, personal healing, and emotional health. It's not surprising, then, that her announcement wasn't dramatic, it was introspective. She described stepping into a chapter of peace, freedom, and protection, with grace. The couple had just celebrated 21 years of marriage, And although we now know that milestone came with a lot of silent heartbreak, neither of them has used this moment to take jabs or assign blame. Instead, they're choosing dignity. Kelley even ended her statement with a reminder that healing isn't loud, it's sacred. That line feels like a gentle plea to the public, and maybe even to herself, to protect the still fragile space that comes after a breakup. Scott's last public post about Kelley and their daughter Lucy was just a few months ago, on Valentine's Day. He shared a photo of the two of them with the caption, "To my forever Valentines, you have my whole heart and always will." It's hard not to look back at that now and feel a sense of finality, a bittersweet echo of what once was. Now, fans are left reflecting on what this divorce really means. Not just for Scott and Kelley, but for anyone who's watched their journey. In a world obsessed with toxic drama, this breakup stands out for being painfully real, quietly dignified, and deeply human. It reminds us that love can be powerful and still not permanent, that you can love someone, raise a family with them, share decades together, and still come to a place where the most loving thing you can do is let go. As they begin this new chapter, separately, but still connected through their children, there's a powerful lesson here, that relationships evolve, that people change, and that endings, while painful, don't always have to be ugly. Sometimes they can be tender. Sometimes they can be healing. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think Scott and Kelley will continue to co-parent peacefully? Could they set a new standard for mature celebrity breakups? Or is this just another Hollywood love story gone quietly cold? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you appreciate stories told with honestest and heart. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. We've got more exclusive deep dives, updates, and breakdowns coming your way.